All right. I'm back. There's so much work to do. It feels like I've hardly even gotten started. Even though this is like the sixth video this weekend, sixth, seventh, something like that, maybe the fifth. But there's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. Good morning to everybody in my time zone. Right now it's about 9:30 a.m. my time. Okay. Now, I see some of the comments in the chat room who say that we should allow the trolls to troll. And the thing is, some of these trolls, some of them are kids. I suspect many of them are kids, especially the ones that'll come in here and spam. You know, they'll type the same thing over and over and over and over. Sometimes they'll just come in and type numbers over and over and over and over. Those types of people need to be banned. Okay, because they actually ruin the dialogue. You know, there could be people having a real discussion in the chat room, and it's being disrupted by, spammers and trolls. But I welcome opposing viewpoints. Just express your opposing viewpoints in a civilized manner. Right? All I ask is that you behave like a civilized human being and not like an uncivilized dog. And of course, a lot of dog lovers have a problem with that. But I digress. Welcome back. Good to see everybody in the house. Tonight, I'll have my members only channel ready to go. Okay, that'll be by tonight. And I will make a video and provide the link and everything for that members only area. I had to sort of set up an alternative. Basically, I had to use one of my other channels, and I've been looking for a way to sort of evolve or change some of my other channels anyway, and this is the perfect thing to do. Now, on the other channel, you'll be able to become a member immediately. I'm still thinking about the title of the channel. I thought I Hate Dogs 3, but I'm going to try to be creative with it. And I'm going to upload a bunch of the videos, member videos, onto that channel, as well as conduct my usual live streams on that channel. And I'm going to just operate two different channels. Okay. Some videos I'll upload on this channel. Some I'll upload on the other channel. Others I will upload on the other channel in the members area. So be on the lookout for that. Also, in the members, the new members area, there's a cheaper subscription, monthly subscription. Before it was like $5 a month, but now some of the tiers are like $3 a month. So be on the lookout for that. Again, I'm gonna come back here tonight and share the info on that. But I wanted to deal with a few different stories. Okay, just a heads up, I want to deal with a few different stories on this live stream, but I wanted to title the live stream as if it's only dealing with this story because this story is so crazy. Now, it might sound crazy, but it's pretty common. Dogs are always being stung by bees. Dogs are always being attacked by natural animals, period. Natural animals and insects. They don't like dogs. I suspect they can detect that these things are mutants and not supposed to be on this planet in the first place. So this went down in Paris. A dog stung over, some reports say 800 times. How this dog lived is beyond me. Whoa.
This video, shot by a suited-up Tommy Baker of Paris, shows how aggressive the swarm of bees became.
Sorry about that. Let me make sure everybody can see what I see. I'm always messing up the live streams. Right, bear with me, bear with me. All right, let's proceed.
When Baker attempted to take down the beehive nestled in his wood fence. Baker and his family live in the country. After a half-dozen failed attempts to get professional bee removers out, Baker tried on his own last Tuesday to remove the beehive.
I saw how big it was. It was very surprising to me. That was not what I expected when I opened it up. How agitated they were was not like anything that I had ever seen before.
Time to get out of here.
Baker had to retreat, but the bees' venomous rampage didn't end there. Their next victim was on 4 legs. He was playing in the yard. Chance the dog, a 100-pound Rottweiler pit bull mix, was attacked by the angry bees.
Well, let's be clear. Dogs attack bees. Now, some people might not be aware of that, but it's pretty common for dogs to attack bees. They attack bees. They will attack wasps. They will attack hornets. They will attack anything that looks alive. So let's be clear about that. I don't believe these bees simply saw this dog and went on the attack. Natural animals don't do that. Natural insects don't do that. Only dogs do that. We'll get deeper into that a little later in the live stream.
Here you see Chance in better days. He was stung at least 700 times. Tommy's wife saw what was happening.
She was able to run outside, brought the dog into our garage, closed the garage door, and she had bees in her hair. There were bees on the dog, so she was able to, knock the bees off and kill the ones that were, still there.
But this Saturday, Chance the dog took a turn for the worse. His owner, Brian Egan, Tommy's neighbor, rushed him to the vet hospital. He gets emotional.
And I thought that was it. I thought that was a phone call of, hey, time. Excuse me.
2-year-old Chance.
Cringe, dude. Cringe. Crying over a dog? All right, buddy. So the dog died, succumbed to its injuries.
Chance is still hanging on. Brian says the next 24 hours are crucial.
They're going to do...
Well, no, it didn't die. A different dog died. And it looked just like this dog. We'll get into that story too.
Some blood transfusions to try to up his platelet counts. He's a lovable dog,
Blood transfusions for a dog? Talk about a waste of money. Every medical operation or procedure executed on a dog is a waste of resources.
He's never been an aggressive dog. He's always been just a happy-go-lucky.
Shut up. All dogs are aggressive. All dogs have shown aggression in their life. Even when they play, they are showing aggression. All they understand is aggression because they are the lowest form of life on the planet. Aggression, anger, rage is the most simple type of emotion. Passion, love, far more sophisticated. It takes more intelligence and sophistication to express love, to even understand love, to love, period. It does not require sophistication or intelligence to attack, to be violent. Again, that proves that dogs are the lowest life forms in the universe, even lower than plant life. The life of a dog is far less valuable than the life of plants. And I'm talking about plants that we don't even eat. I'm not just saying that to say something, insulting. I mean that. So this dog, I thought this was interesting, stung over 700 times. Why are different animals and insects always launching these fierce attacks on dogs? As I've said several times, I believe all other animals, they can sense that dogs are not supposed to be here, that they are a problem. They can sense that dogs are not supposed to be on this planet. So they'll just try to take them out. On top of that, I believe they can sense that the dog is nothing but trouble. They can sense that the dog will attack unprovoked. We've seen several animals just attack dogs on sight, because if they don't, they understand the dog will attack them on sight. You're always hearing about dogs attacking animals. Always. So when those animals or insects attack the dogs, that's retaliation. So this took place, this story surfaced yesterday. This dog lived, according to reports. What I thought was kind of crazy was this story right here. This story surfaced 10 years ago. Wait, is it this story? No, this is a different one. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, that's not it either. There was another dog. Here it is right here. That was attacked by bees, but it died. Now look. This is a different dog. Y'all see this worthless
Right now in St. Petersburg, one dog is found dead, another seriously hurt, both attacked by a swarm of killer bees.
That's the dog. Look just like the dog that was attacked yesterday. But this dog died. This was uploaded 9 years ago.
It happened on 23rd Avenue South, and that's where Eric Waxler is live for us.
And this dog was killed by bees. Bees are always taking out dogs.
Tonight, Eric?
Listen, people are telling people here in the neighborhood to keep their pets inside and to stay inside
No,
themselves.
no. Keep your dogs inside. All other pets are just fine outside. Let's get the language right. Okay? And I always have to point this out because this is how they brainwash and deceive the public. We're just talking about dogs, dude.
They've got this street blocked off because here's what's about to happen in the next half hour. A bee expert who purposely is waiting till just before sundown to do this is going to place a substance into that attic right there where he believes there are tens of thousands of killer bees. The substance will force them out. He says they will up in the air will look like smoke. There will be so many of them. They will end up in a tree and then disperse by morning, which is good news for the people in this neighborhood after what happened here today.
In my 24 years, I've never seen nothing like it.
When he showed up, Detective Barry Brooks thought the two pit bulls by this fence were dead. Hundreds of bees were swarming around them.
As we got closer, we yelled, and one dog started moving a little bit, never opened his eyes, but we could tell he was breathing.
Two residents joined to help, including a guy named Fabian, who didn't want to be on camera, but told us he had been taking care of the two stray pit bulls, naming this one Boss and the...
Stray pit bulls? How does that happen? Boy, you really have to be a neighborhood, a community of nutters to allow there to be stray pit bulls anywhere. Stray dog is bad enough. A small stray dog is bad enough.
Taking care of...
They're so familiar with stray pit bulls that they named them. Same thing happened in Detroit with that guy who was killed by those dogs that he was trying to feed. They're going to get enough. Y'all going to get enough of trying to treat dogs as if they're human.
Of the two stray pit bulls, naming this one Boss and the other Mama.
Every time we got close to the dog, every time I get close to pull the dogs and try to, get them out of the situation and get them untangled, I mean, I got stung, and they were buzzing around my head, and I finally grabbed the hose and started spraying the water all over the place to get the bees off of them.
Boss is the dog that died. Mama was taken to an animal hospital, stung at least 100 times.
Notice how they immediately started to refer to the dog by its name. They always bend over backwards to humanize these things. It really makes me sick.
Alma was taken to an animal hospital, stung at least 100 times.
If I'd known that back there, they wouldn't have been back there. I'd have got rid of them a long time ago.
Don Burns owns the house where the bees built their nest. He teared up when we asked him about the 2 dogs.
Don't make me feel good. But, you know, we can't.
What are y'all? They always crying over dogs. Which people, that's a very bad sign. When they cry over dogs, that is irrefutable proof that these people are savages. They are primitive, no different from a flippin' uncivilized caveman who just stepped out of the cave a few days ago. That proves that these people feel like they themselves are dogs too. That they're somehow on the same level of no different from a dog. You are a primitive, low-life dirtbag. Crying over no dog? Being in possession of them is bad enough. That makes you a primitive, disgusting beast itself. But then when a dog dies, you start crying as if a human being, crying as if a family member has died. Get out of here, you weirdo, primitive, cringe idiot. Listen, I am sick of the world. I'm sick of all stupid people. If I don't do nothing else before I die, I'm going to vent my frustration with stupidity.
Nest, he teared up when we asked him about the 2 dogs.
Don't make me feel good. But, you know, we can't control nature. Things happen in the wild, you know. But at least we know what we can do now to correct it, and the B-Man is here to take care of it. So he's going to take care of it this evening, and we'll get rid of him.
Oh, God. That's so pathetic. I can't even trust that you're a real man or a real adult, period. You boo-hooing and crying over such a worthless, problematic, troublesome vermin. What is wrong with you? God, you nutters are so embarrassing. And I don't understand how you don't see it yourself. That tells me you are truly, in your heart, mind, and soul, a primitive, savage beast yourself. But because you are a human, you can change. And I'm trying to help you to change. Trying to help evolve. You nutters. I believe if nutters evolve, the whole world evolves. Because I believe the nutters right now are holding us back from evolving.
And her 4 dogs in a Mesa home. Of killer bees attack a woman and her 4 dogs in a Mesa home. One of those dogs did not survive, and the others aren't doing very well. ABC 15's Angie Holdsworth is live near University in Ellsworth, where that attack happened yesterday. Angie, gosh, just a horrific scene for the owner of these dogs.
Absolutely, when you consider that she was just absolutely helpless watching this all go down. Now, the bees apparently came from the next door neighbor's yard. Apparently that home is abandoned, but it was a horrific scene, like you said. I mean, the dogs she saw trying to get away, they were actually digging holes, trying to...
Shut up. Shut up. That wasn't hard to watch. It's not like the dog was getting chopped up to pieces. It's not like it was a person being attacked by a dog. Dog getting stung by bees. You can't see no bloodshed, no open wounds. You don't see nothing. All you see is a dog jumping around. Nothing horrible or difficult to see watching that. I'd have probably grabbed a bowl of popcorn. Goofy nutters.
home is abandoned, but it was a horrific scene, like you said. I mean, the dogs she saw trying to get away, they were actually digging holes, trying to get away, throwing themselves up against the window, but in the end, they simply just failed to be able to get away.
Yeah, I bet they were. Screaming, crying, and in pain. I bet they were. Similarly to the thousands of children that were killed. I bet as they were being mauled, they were screaming, trying to get away. They were trying their best to resist the attack, but they could not. And they were killed. Now, as a human, you're going to have to pardon me. I'm too busy being worried about those types of killings to be worried about the creature that kills those people. I'm not going to be worried about no dog that has died because it was stung by a few bees somewhere. Get out of here. I'm sitting here saying they need to be exterminated anyways. So you see, the bees have jumped ahead of the line on me. Huh? The bees said, hold my beer. IHD, you think dogs need to be exterminated? Hold our beer. See, now they're trying to get people to feel so, oh, the dog was trying to get away. Shut up. You know how many toddlers were trying to get away? How many prepubescent children were trying to get away? How many toddlers were trying to get away who just were screaming and hoping that they could be helped by somebody, but could not escape the attack? When you have deaths or murders like that go on a regular basis, it is a savage, extremely savage move to be sympathetic when a dog dies, to act like another human died. These things are our mortal enemies. Dogs are our mortal enemies. They are the #1 attackers of humans. And they attack our kids most of the time. Get out of here. No, fail. Not feeling sorry for no dog. Yeah, you can show me a hole it was trying to dig to escape all you want. I don't feel nothing. The only thing I feel is sorrow for the helpless kids and babies who were attacked and or killed and could not neutralize the attack.
Saw trying to get away, they were actually digging holes, trying to get away, throwing themselves up against the window, but in the end, they simply just failed to be able to get away.
And do you know when a victim is screaming or when they try to resist or try to run, the dog will attack them even more viciously. So I don't feel sorry for nothing that a dog goes through. Nothing, because they need to be gotten rid of anyways.
And they simply just failed to be able to get away to save themselves.
But I mean, this entire area of the yard was bees.
A cloud of bees take over Christian Giovanetti's yard less than 30 minutes after her kids and niece were playing outside.
Come here.
Her 4 dogs, still in the yard, were covered in a matter of minutes.
Dogs
attack bees. They attack wasps. They attack anything moving. Okay? We need to understand that. We don't need to be out here having pity parties for dogs that are attacked by bees. Because dogs, that's all they do is attack other living things. So when other natural animals get the jump on dogs, I don't want to hear nothing. You nutters, when your dog attacks and kills another animal, you sit there and cheer the dog on. Oh, good boy, good boy. As it's killing other animals, this is what you do. But suddenly we're supposed to feel sorry for the dog if it gets attacked by bees. I don't think so. Now look at this. To give you an example of what I'm talking about. You wonder why dogs get stung? Now what you're looking at is a dog harassing a wasp. That's why they get stung. Because dogs don't know how to mind their own business. They're always attacking other living things. And if they don't attack them, they invade their personal space, violate them. And the nutters, they think you're supposed to accept it. Let their dog walk up on you, start sniffing on you, licking on you, getting saliva on you. That's why they got stung. I don't feel sorry for these mutts. Get out of here.
Throwing themselves against the window, against the wall. They were rolling in the dirt, and they were just looking at me. It's like, and you can't do anything.
Giovanetti's dog Belle died during the attack. The other 3 are undergoing treatment with hundreds of stings.
Ugh, nasty. Sitting up in that house with 4 dogs. 4 giant dogs. And these are parents. And this is what I'm talking about. Bunch of uncivilized, primitive savages. These things are not family members. Look at this guy. Look at his t-shirt. He looks dirty. That's the problem. Classless people. Classless, unevolved people.
Each. Buttercup and Jax are in the worst shape. The 4th, Dirk, is slowly showing signs of improvement.
Yeah, whatever. I bet that home smells atrocious. I bet you it is so filthy and nasty. Full of bacteria, viruses, parasites, germs. Disgusting. Biohazard inside of that home. That home is a doghouse. The nastiest people in the world are people who allow their dogs outside and inside. Because outside, the dogs are eating excrement, urine, vomit, rolling around in it, in their own filth. And they come right back into the house, get on the bed, get on the furniture, lick these nasty people all over their bodies. Dog owners are dangerous people from a health standpoint. These are dangerous people. Something needs to be done about them. This is extremely dangerous lifestyle for us as human beings to have. Suicidal. This is like a bunch of people who are extremely unevolved and still unintelligent. This lifestyle of living with dogs came from a period of time when human beings, human intelligence was at an all-time low. So different lifestyles that you engaged in as cave people are supposed to be left in the cave.
4th, Dirk, is slowly showing signs of improvement.
One got me on the arm, and it's still tender and it itches.
You know what's crazy? I ain't never been stung by a bee in my life. That's the crazy part. I've been around bees all my life. Never been stung, ever. And I feel like if I had ever been stung, I'd know it. From what I hear, they hurt. And they'll leave the stinger inside your body. I've never been stung.
I have several on the back of my head.
I've been attacked by dogs. Bees, wasps, they see you from a distance. They're not going to attack you. Not going to bother you. Notice how bees, they only will attack you once you violate their nest. Once you get too close. Whereas dogs can see you from far away. Run over to you just to attack you.
Giovanetti herself.
The bees exercise true territory aggression. Dogs don't. Dogs display mutant aggression.
back of my head.
Giovanetti herself was stung about 10 times. Running back inside, she could only watch.
Look at her window. Look at that nasty, filthy, dirt-covered window. It does not look like these people are clean. You think that house is clean and smells good on the inside?
As her dogs fought for life.
It's devastating because you can't do anything. You can't.
Oh, here we go. I hear her voice cracking already. You about to start crying over dogs again, huh? One dog, huh? You primitive savage. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear you boo and cry over a worthless, good-for-nothing mutt.
You can't go out. You can't save them.
The hive was apparently in the chimney of the abandoned home next door. Giovanetti is at a loss for what caused them to attack.
I sat in there banging on the window and screaming.
Now, what did I tell y'all before? Look at her face. Look at all these flipping abrasions and zits and warts and craters. Like she got some moles and rashes. I believe much of that comes from these nasty dogs. Passing all this filth and nastiness, bacteria crap get all up in your skin. Horrible skin. It could be from that dog. Like I said, we don't know how bad exactly these things impact our life. It could be a never-ending list of benefits we'd get by getting rid of them. So many benefits to the point where we as people would be an entirely different intelligent species on this planet. The only thing holding us back is these primitive, nasty cave people. Get out of here with this sick, nasty lifestyle. You sick, nasty nutters. As I said, we need our own island, man. Dog-free island. Somebody need to make it now. I will move there.
On the window and screaming because you just want to help them and you can't.
And I spoke with a vet there.
Shut up. Nobody care about no flipping worthless mutt. Bees are necessary. Humans benefit from the presence of bees. They do more pollinating of plant life than anything else. All they ask is that you don't bother them. Leave us alone. Let us pollinate. I think they pollinate like the majority of crops on the planet. All they ask is to be left alone. Don't get too close. They can see you from afar. They're not going to bother you. And generally, even after you swat at a bee or a wasp, it'll take a while for them to sting you. Dogs is the exact opposite, as we all know. Now, here's another one. I'm telling y'all people, dogs are always being killed by bees. Bees are always putting in work on dogs. So yet another group of living organisms that don't like dogs. We've seen packs of monkeys try to exterminate dogs. Now bees. We've seen something else. What was the other ones? Tried to eradicate their district of dogs.
A family is in shock after killer bees take down their 45-pound dog in Boca Raton.
Those bees came from a property right next door, and they hope they can hold someone accountable. News Channel 5's Alana Quillen is live in the studio tonight to explain. Alana.
Well, Debbie Leonard says her daughter watched their dog Delilah die after being stung by hundreds of bees. Their neighbor is actually a beekeeper, but they only found that out after their dog was killed. We sent Chopper 5 over the neighborhood where you can see how close.
What a secret. What a secret their neighbors kept from them. Yeah? They didn't tell them that they were beekeepers. They didn't find that out until after their bees killed their dog. All right. Okay. Let me show y'all something to give y'all a better idea what I'm talking about. Because I know a lot of people, they think I nitpick. They think I bend over backwards, that I reach. You know, they think I'm always reaching for content and information. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and share this link to this website. Look at this. "10 pictures of dogs that ate bees and instantly regretted it." Y'all see that? Here, let me share a link. Now, if they found 10 bees, or excuse me, 10 dogs that have been stung by bees, don't you think this is a rather typical thing that happens? All these dogs tried to eat a bee or ate a bee, and the bee stung them in the process. We've seen dogs on TV looking like this, and the people will say that the owner did it. You know, they taped its mouth shut or something. Some of them dogs are probably swollen after eating a bee, tried to eat a wasp. Look at them. These dogs ate a bee. Yet another scenario that primarily or almost exclusively seems to happen to dogs. I don't know. I take that as a sign. A sign that dogs are not natural. They're not natural to this earth. That's why they're always being attacked by other natural creatures of this earth. If you don't attack dogs, then you will be attacked, and your living environment will be attacked. Exterminating dogs is really a necessity, especially for an intelligent group of people. Okay, there's more. Dogs are always attacking living things. And that's why they're always being attacked themselves. You nutters, you like to run these stories about a dog getting hurt or something happening to a dog, or you found a dog with a scratch on it, or it's got a bruise, it has an abrasion. But you want to ignore the fact that you're talking about the same creatures that attack other living things more than any other living thing. Quite naturally, you think that part of the reason why so many dogs pop up all over the place hurt and injured is because the dogs themselves are violent creatures.
Close the box.
All those dogs I just showed that were hurt, these nutters would have found these dogs and said, "Oh, look at what someone did. Oh, look at the poor pooch." And these dogs actually attacked bees, ate bees, killed them. Get out of here. Now, what in the world? Here's another one. This took place in Las Vegas. This was published 2021. Dog died.
Well, a new warning tonight as bee swarming season is underway. A dog has died after being stung several times this weekend, and the family who owned the dog is recounting their experience only to Channel 13. Reporter Astrid Mendez spoke to them and an expert about what you should do if that happens to you.
Swarmer bees around our valley have seen multiple times just this year, the most recent here in Lorenzi Park. In this neighborhood now, one family is mourning the loss of their dog after they were stung, and they hope that this doesn't happen to any other families.
But it was already too late. He was dead. He was dead. He couldn't do anything.
Oh, here we go again. Goofy, cringe nutters crying over dogs. These people are possessed. They are extremely brainwashed. As somebody pointed out in the comment section to a recent video, It's the brainwashing that turns people into nutters. Brainwashing that starts at a very early age. It's these people who were exposed to dogs when they themselves were babies, toddlers, kids. So they grow up being, I'm not going to say they're oblivious, but they're just brainwashed. Brainwashed human beings are dangerous people.
Celia Garcia can't help but cry, thinking about what happened.
Your brain can work against you. Our brain is extremely powerful, but it can be an extremely powerful problem if it's configured in the wrong way and you can't snap out of it. That's these dog nutters.
Thinking about what happened to her dog, Bruce. She says her dad was watering the patio when the bees came out of nowhere and stung him and the dog. She got home half an hour after the encounter and tried to save her pet, not realizing bees could kill him.
I was desperate trying to help my dog, and my neighbor came out and went with us outside to try to get him from outside, but he was already dead. And he got stung more times than we did. Then he called 911, and finally they came.
It breaks my heart, because that's like a family member.
God. No, it's not. No, dogs are nothing like family members. What is wrong with these people? You see what I mean? I'm not worried about my family member, killing my new baby, my infant I just brought home from the hospital. Don't compare these things to people or family. Get out of here. Again, doesn't it sound like I'm talking to a kid? No, little Johnny, that's not your family member. That's a dog. That's what's called a dog. You're called a human being. It ain't even nothing remotely close to a family member, nutter.
My heart, because that's like a family member. You're gonna get me all choked up.
Nah, man. I don't care if y'all genuinely in your heart love dogs. Y'all need to snap out of it. No, we need to demand evolution. We got to demand other people to evolve. Y'all better get with the program. These are nothing like, don't you dare compare no dog. My family, nobody in my family is comparable to a flipping dog, you nasty, primitive, savage nutter. Maybe your family members are comparable to a dog. Out of here. How sick is that?
Family member. You're gonna get me all choked up.
Ramona Eubank also got these African bees in her house.
Very dangerous. And they chased my son and his friend back into the garage.
They both say the hive has not been found and a few bees are still in the neighborhood. The Las Vegas Fire Department said since last weekend, at least 10 people have gotten stung, and that bees get provoked by vibrations and loud noises.
Those send vibrations back to the hive, and they interpret them as someone trying to break into their home. You start to get headbutted by bees, you should turn around and go in the opposite direction as you were coming from. They're trying to warn you. But if you continue to threaten them, they will sting, and it's when the
Okay. So you heard what he said.
Sting releases.
He said the bees will give you a warning first. As you're getting closer to their hive, their nest, they will fly in front of you and bump into you. And that's their warning. And if you don't take heed, then they'll attack you. You get too close, they'll attack you. Dogs don't do that. They will see you from afar, run up to you, and attack. See the difference? That tells you what? That nature is not inside of dogs. Dogs didn't come from nature. That's why dogs don't function like natural creatures. Don't have to respect no creature that's not even natural to this earth. You should be ashamed for bringing it onto this earth and keeping it on this earth.
And puts that pheromone out, the other bees will come out.
The important thing is that if you encounter bees, don't try to take them on alone. Don't even wave your hands, because they will actually feel attacked when you do that. And always keep your distance.
Keep your distance? That's a good advice. You can't give that advice for a dog attack. You being at a distance away from a dog, that's not going to make you any safer. Dogs will still attack you. Don't try to run stories on bees as if bees are the villains. They're actually trying to help our planet. When they attack dogs, they're trying to help cleanse the planet. Now, this is a recent story. This surfaced in 2019.
Thank you, Mark. 2 dogs killed after a bee attack in South Abilene. We checked around, and so far veterinarians in the area reporting at least 5 dog deaths due to bee stings, and this in...
How about that? Bees don't play with dogs. I don't think bees like dogs. I suspect bees hate dogs. Look into it. They're always attacking dogs.
Just the last couple of months. K-Texas reporter Courtney Brown live in South Abilene with more on this latest attack. Courtney?
Yeah, hey, well, it's a sad story. Just yesterday morning, 2 pit bulls were taken to this veterinary clinic right behind me, where they later died after being stung by hundreds of bees. Veterinarians say they did all they can, but the venom was just too much.
Dogs get attacked by bees because they're curious and they hear the buzz.
Dogs get attacked by bees because dogs are curious? No, because dogs are bloodthirsty, violent mutants. You notice how they call the dog harassing other living things curiosity and playfulness? That's why I cannot stand this dog culture, full of so many lies. Because they're curious.
Dogs get attacked by bees because they're curious and they hear the buzzing, hear the noise, and so they go into the vicinity, and that's when the bees begin to attack them.
Area veterinarians say if your furry friends get stung 2 or more times, go to your animal doctor because it could turn deadly.
If you think your dog has been stung and it becomes lethargic, begins vomiting, is panting very hard, its tongue is a dark red or pink, very dark pink, those are signs that your dog is in trouble.
And bee experts say some bees in Texas are now Africanized, meaning they are more aggressive and mean.
We very seldom ever see a real mellow,
Well, listen, bees have evolved to attack when they sense vibration, to attack when someone comes too close to their hive, because their beehives is full of honey. So a bunch of different types of animals will look for beehives to eat the honey. So the bees have evolved to the point where they're saying, look, as soon as we see somebody getting close, they're coming for our honey. They're coming to destroy our nest. So let's attack anybody that get too close. You keep a safe distance, not going to bother you. We just look at you. You get too close, where it clearly looks like you're about to manipulate our nest, then we'll attack. I have to point that out because they're trying to project bees as if bees are like dogs. No, they're not.
Traditionally called typical hive. The aggression levels have risen to a point where it's becoming a danger.
No, that's not aggression. What I just explained, that's not aggressive behavior. What dogs display is aggressive behavior. Okay, let's be clear about that.
As we are seeing now.
He adds, years ago, you might get 10 to 15 stings from one hive, but now you can get hundreds. And beehives aren't easy to get rid of.
Build their hives on the inside of structures, and so you have to go through the siding or through a soffit. Sometimes we go in through the inside of the house, through the sheetrock to get at them. But you've got to physically remove that hive.
And if you see your dog going to a beehive, it's suggested to call your dog back and take them inside. Don't go to the area to get your dogs. And once everyone is safe and the dog...
No, the dog probably smells the honey. And once a dog smells some food, you can't just call its name. No, that much on a mission at that point. And it's going to find that beehive. And the beehives are going to put it on it. 5,000 bees killed 2 dogs. Also sting ex-police officer 40 times. That police officer sounds like he was stung because he was with the dogs. You were by yourself, they probably wouldn't have bothered you. This has happened before, where other natural animals have attacked dogs, and then they will attack the owner for being in possession. They figure if you're this close to something this worthless, then you must be worthless too. You must be problematic and dangerous as well. So this happens all the time. Dogs are always getting attacked by not only bees, but all living creatures, all of them. This surfaced back in 2016. Dog was stung hundreds of times by bees. Why are bees always found having stung dogs multiple times and left them in horrid conditions? Now, maybe it happens to other animals often, and I'm not aware of it. Go ahead and fill me in. But it doesn't matter, because there are several different animal groups and insect groups that attack dogs. Okay, several infections on top of that only want to make a home in the filthy, nasty body of a dog. Can't make this up. Here's another one. This surfaced, wait a minute, a few days ago. Happened at Cedar Point. They offered to pay a vet bill after a swarm of bees attacked a dog. What in the world? This happened in Cedar Point? Yes, this happened like a month ago. What am I talking about? A few days ago. What am I talking about? It was 4 days ago. All right. I trust the bees. Bees act on instinct. They go on what they feel. Yeah? What is this? Well, this was another one. This was another case. Sting 3 Texas dogs after lurking in a fence. Okay? So here's 3 dogs that was killed. These things are always getting attacked by bees. They're always getting attacked by everything. Nothing like dogs. Nothing living likes dogs. Not even plants like dogs. Look at how plants die when dogs urinate on them. Dogs are anti-life, and everything living is repelled by them. That's why you bring nothing but harm to humanity by embracing the existence of dogs. Every other living element rejects the presence of dogs, and they're a lot better off than us. Right? They're not getting mutilated, having their kids mutilated like we are. Here's another case. Took place 2021, where a dog died after being attacked by bees. Man, this don't stop. This is very popular, man. It's very common for dogs to get attacked by bees. What in the world? Another dog died after being, this was in 2015. Quite often they die. This one stung about 100 times. Okay. It don't surprise me. When dogs start to harass living things, they don't stop. That's the one thing that they do consistently, is not cease their attack on other living things. But with bees, because bees can fly, they want the smoke. Okay, you want problems? We'll give it to you. That's what happens. Please, stop trying to sell us the idea that dogs are valuable, that their life is valuable. Their life is not valuable, not even at 1%. 1 to 100, not even 1%. These things should be gotten rid of. Creatures whose life have no value, they don't deserve to be exterminated. I'm not saying dogs should be exterminated because they're worthless, but dogs are problematic. It's irrefutable.
Colorado animal shelters really continue to struggle with the high number of animals coming in.
And as Denver 7's Danielle Croyder reports, while National Dog Rescue Day comes to an end tonight, it is not too late to do your part to help.
I don't have no part. What are you talking about? Do my part to help. I ain't doing nothing. I don't have to do nothing. I really hate how they project this idea that dogs are our responsibility. Like it's our life duty as humans to take care of them. Get out of my face with that nasty, primitive, caveman nonsense. Get out of here.
Rescue Day comes to an end tonight. It is not too late to do your part.
Ugh, I'm so sick of these dogs. Why don't y'all just go live with dogs out in the woods somewhere, you nasty freaks? Make up your mind. Do you want to be a human being or a dog? It's to that point.
To help.
Eleanor was picked up from a hoarding and neglect case in Texas. Underdogs does a really great job of kind of finding some really challenging cases.
Kella Manfredi works with several.
And look how she kiss him and hold him like, this is sick. This is sick, man. We got this new generation of women who have an extremely powerful motherly and sexual attraction to dogs. This is beyond sick. Fellas, if you find out a woman is a dog owner, you better stay away from her. Cross her off your list of potential mates. Same with the women. You find out a guy is a nutter, and the thing is with the guys, they're just as sexually attracted to dogs as the women. You see, they boo-hooing and crying just like the women.
Local animal shelters and rescues.
You good girl, you a good girl.
The mind, the brain it requires to kiss a dog like that, to kiss a dog, period. I will never understand that. Our lips don't belong on no flipping dog. Not even for a split second. What a nasty, nasty human being. Lord, these people are nasty, man.
Finding some really challenging cases.
Kella Manfredi works with several local animal shelters and rescues.
You good girl, you a good.
Look at this nutter. Did y'all see that? Look at that. Got a statue of a dog, and look at all these photos of dogs. This is what I'm talking about. This type of crazy, sick obsession. This is a mental problem. It's a mental disorder. You ain't no dog. You got pictures of dogs? Look at this. Nobody can tell me this is normal.
And rescues.
You good girl, you a good girl.
She's rescued 88 dogs herself over the years.
And of all 88 dogs, I have never had a behavioral problem. I have never had something that couldn't be handled or couldn't be fixed within.
Look at her wall. Who does that? Good Lord, who does that? As somebody pointed out, if these people are willing to say that dogs are like people, they're like human, or I see dogs as human, and they're willing to allow these things to live inside their home, sleep on their bed, sleep on their furniture, is it really far-fetched to believe that people like that have intercourse with these dogs? No, it's not. It's actually fitting. It actually makes sense for a person that obsessed with dogs to be intimate with dogs behind closed doors. What a red flag. The mere possession is a red flag. Possession of a dog is a red flag. But when they get to this point, where they're kissing dogs, rubbing on dogs' genital areas, which is what she does, which that's what they all do. It's sexual. They're expressing their sexual lust it's so disgusting. Extremely sick, man. It's hard to refer to these people as human beings. That feels inappropriate to call these people human beings. You don't live the example of what a human being is. Why should you get that title? You're a dog as well.
In a rescue environment or a vet.
She's a huge advocate for rescue dogs and adoptions.
It has never been more important.
Denver 7's been closely covering.
Important for what? What's the benefit of rescuing these? Tell me. If it's important to rescue them, why? What's the benefit? Can't name one benefit. Nothing tangible whatsoever. The only thing you can name is problems, tragedies, loss of life, disfigurement, and a whole host of other irrefutable, irreparable problems.
Closely covering shelters across the state, hitting their capacity limit. It's an ongoing problem. A quick search of shelter.
What a bunch of sick lunatics. All the homeless people we got in this country, and they build facilities, high quality facilities for dogs instead. Truly unbelievable. This is a next level sickness, man.
It has never been more important.
Denver 7's been closely covering shelters across the state.
Wait a minute.
Across the state, shelters are closely covering shelters across the
Look at that facility. There could be homeless people in these stalls. Don't you think homeless people will be happy to have one of these tiny little rooms? Of course they would. Better than living on the street, out in the elements. But instead of giving them a facility using taxpayer dollars, you want to give it to dogs? You trying to function like a dog yourself. That's why I say you need to let these people go live on an island with dogs. And you shouldn't get anything that's produced by the cooperation of multiple people.
Been closely covering shelters across the state, hitting their capacity limit. It's an ongoing problem. A quick search of shelter and rescue websites in the Denver metro area show more than 270 dogs are waiting for their forever home.
There's just simply not enough room for all of these relinquishments and all of these strays that are coming in. Sometimes they're tripling up kennels, which is not ideal for anyone.
And when there's not enough room,
sometimes people don't want to hear what the answer is, but I know the Colorado shelter.
Those dogs are incredibly hideous. Good Lord. That just looked wrong, man. All of them. But God, why would you even want to look at that thing, let alone touch it?
Want to hear what the answer is, but I know the Colorado shelters are doing everything they possibly can to make sure that they are getting animals put into rescue so they don't have to make that choice to euthanize.
So, to celebrate National Rescue Dog Day this weekend, do your homework.
Be aware of how much an emergency vet bill costs, how much.
Listen, man. People who are this head over heels crazy about dogs, I believe all of these people are doing sick things behind closed doors with these dogs. And I believe that that is where all this passion is coming from. All this strong, passionate love, and they live for dogs. My whole life is about dogs, dogs. Those types of people are the most suspect. The most suspect. It's hard for me to believe that people like that are not intimate behind closed doors with dogs. You got to understand, this sick zoophile lifestyle is the motivation behind a lot of nuttery. It seriously amplifies the nuttery, as we all know. And what is this?
A Florida family says they watched in horror as their dog was attacked and eventually killed by a swarm of bees.
You wouldn't have even been able to tell what color she was. Like, there were so many bees.
Listen, man. Another dog killed by bees. Yeah, we get it. Listen. That tells me something's wrong with dogs. You know how they like to say that if my dog don't like you, then I don't like you? Well, if all the animals on the planet don't like dogs, I don't like dogs. I don't think all the animals and insects on the planet could be wrong. This is telling how so many living organisms view dogs as a threat to their existence. And if they can, they'll try to exterminate them. Fascinating stuff. Danger dog. I'm an expert dog trainer. There's a breed I'd never own. Here's why they're so dangerous. I'm going to have to get into this later. It's a story that surfaced a few hours ago that upset me. These behaviorists, these people, these pit bull advocates, dog nutters in general, they're always contradicting themselves. Always contradicting themselves. And there's always information that comes out that refutes something that some other so-called expert said. Right, but in this article, they're talking about the American Bully XL, the one that just recently killed that lady. And I believe that 37-year-old man was killed by a American Bully XL as well. Okay, and this expert dog trainer is saying that these dogs, the Bully XL, are too dangerous to own. Well, we know that. We've all known that. Yeah? Where is it? Look at this. Look at this. Look at what he wrote here. He warned that if American bullies are raised in poor environments and not socialized correctly as puppies, owners will find they can't control these dogs when they reach adolescence. Why would they need to control them? Why do you need to control dogs at all? You need to train and socialize them as puppies so that you can have control over them. They won't be out of control when they grow up. That's the problem. Why are they becoming out of control? Shouldn't have to control them at all. You don't have to control anything that behaves in a civilized manner. You know, if you mind your business, you don't violate anyone, you don't attack anyone, there's no reason to have me under control. Stuff like this really reveals how problematic dogs are, how much of a headache they are. This is not stress relief. This ain't no stress relieving animal. Get out of here. He said many of these breeds are bred irresponsibly. How do you breed them responsibly? I thought when you breed something, you just, you let the male and female mate and they have an offspring. How can that be done irresponsibly? Like, what are you even talking about? I don't even understand that. But he pointed out that all the mutations that's required to produce an American Bully XL results in the dog being more of a mutant and having a low trigger point. See right here. He said it all adds up to one thing. Dogs with a low trigger point with the physical strength to kill. Okay? Nothing with the physical strength to kill is an appropriate pet. Definitely not an appropriate family pet. And has no business around children. You don't even have to get into anything else. Not even the fact that it's a bully breed. It's got the physical strength and ability to kill, has no place in society. And yeah, look at what he pointed out. They always telling on themselves like this. They say all dogs can bite, but when American bullies attack, the result can often be devastating. Yeah, we know that. So this is a dog trainer, a so-called expert, admitting that there is a difference. There is breed differences. Y'all notice that? Their experts are always pointing out things that's breed specific with bully breeds. But then that's the first thing they want to say is that breed is irrelevant. The dog expert noted that if you ban one aggressive breed, people will just start breeding another new aggressive designer breed. That is a lie. And what they're talking about here, you know what they're saying when they say this? They've said this several times. They always say this. Okay, follow me with this. And the dog expert noted that if you ban one aggressive breed, the aggressive breed that they're talking about, when they say this, they're just talking about pit bulls. They're only talking about one specific bully breed. And what they're saying is if you ban pit bulls, people will simply start breeding other bully breeds. That's what they're saying. They're not saying that people are going to start using Labrador retrievers as fighter dogs. No, they're just saying that people will go and deal with other bully breeds, with mixes and stuff like that. But if you remove all bully breeds, they're not going to be able to have no other fighting dog. You know how long it took to breed pit bulls into existence? And if it's that easy to start producing bully breeds again, that's all the more reason why they should be banned. Like this right here, look. As of now, the 91 Dangerous Dog Act bans 4 breeds. The Pit Bull Terrier, Japanese Soul, the Fila Brasileiro, and the Dogo Argentino. The Dogo Argentino, that's a bully breed. So you see what I'm saying? If a district bans Pit Bull Terriers, for example, people will simply own a Dogo Argentino. They'll go get a Staffordshire Terrier. They'll just get a different type of bully breed. So a bunch of, all of the, or a lot of the provisions, a lot of things that they point out is put in place to avoid punishing dog owners, to avoid confiscating dogs. Just like this law saying, hey, we've banned Pit Bull Terriers We banned Dogo Argentinos. That's basically code language to bully breed lovers. That's basically a nudge and wink. Like, hey, just get a different bully breed. Hey, psst, psst, no pit bulls, okay? But you can get one of those other bully breeds. It's the same thing. Can't tell the difference. The whole point is that these people want a fighting breed, a bully breed. And these idiots, they go and ban one type of bully breed. That does nothing. Now, these goofy nutters, as you all know, they infuriate. You know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for this. Because this upset me so bad. And it just surfaced a few hours ago. So I'll wait for this one. I'll deal with this on the other channel. Right? I need to get busy and get everything in order so I can get this up and running. But I sort of started babbling too much on this. I didn't mean for this to be this long. I just want to talk about the dogs that were stung by bees and killed by bees. It's not just bees, it's wasps, hornets, other living creatures that by instinct tries to exterminate dogs. Okay, every living creature on this planet knows that dogs are a problem. They're violent, they're mutants, they don't belong on this planet. Right? I don't hold anything against bees or any other living creature that does anything to dogs. You all, you dog lovers, are extremely irresponsible, and it's extremely inhumane for you to have created these things in the first place. And you're keeping them on this planet, knowing full well that they are very dangerous, disgusting, and that they live with a whole bunch of deformities that they suffer throughout life. Another immoral aspect of the dog culture. You don't love these things. You've heard that saying, if you love something, let it go, free it. No, what they love is being a control freak, having complete control over something. The social interactions that they have with dogs that they prefer is a sign of weakness on their part, mental weakness, because they don't want any counter thoughts. They just want what they think and what they say to be the end all. That's why they get a dog. That way they can speak for the dog, and anything that they say goes. Everything that they say goes unchallenged. And that's what they love so much about dogs. And you know what that is? An extremely weak-minded individual. These nutters strengthen their weakness. They reinforce their weakness with these dogs. And that's why they can't seem to even interact with other people and be comfortable interacting with other people unless there's a dog there that they can divert their attention to every 5 minutes. No, you need to just work on your communication skills, which is really nothing but speaking your mind. All you young people out there going through adolescence, you're going through identity crisis, you haven't reached that point in life where you're comfortable being yourself and being who you are. Be yourself, because most likely you are like a reflection of your parents, most likely. Your mode of interaction, stuff like that, is just like your parents. Go ahead and be just like your parents. Be yourself. There is no substitute for being yourself. Once you be yourself and you get into being yourself, that's when other people will flock to you. That's when they'll, want to hear what you have to say. That's when you'll earn respect. Nobody likes a fraudulent individual. Shout out to everybody. I see a lot of the OGs are in the house. Again, I'm going to go live again later on today. And I'm going to share all the information for my second channel where I will have a members area. So please be on the lookout for that. And hopefully I can get you all to join me on tonight's live stream. It is about 11 o'clock my time. So I will be back, I don't know, maybe 8 hours from now. Got to go get my day started. Wait a minute. Those are the same bullies as yeah, exactly. Exactly. As Merelda pointed out, that dog owners are the same bullies as their dogs. These people, a lot of these people who acquire bully breeds, they acquire them just to bully people, to scare people, intimidate people, which is antisocial behavior. And we all have been knowing this. We've all known how problematic these people are in society, in our communities, and we haven't been saying anything. Yeah, well, them days is over. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this live stream, and I hope to see you all on the next as we continue with this crusade.